Good afternoon. My name is Joel Gonzalez, and I will be doing a confirmation on the different types of breeds of birds I have. This first one I have is a Old English Japanese Bantam, and she's about a year old now. And I had her since she was a baby. I raised her from an egg, and and the reason why she's small at this is because she she is a one of her kind because she doesn't because there's no other breeds like this in the world. And her feathers, the long ones are primary, and the short ones are secondary. And she can have about two, 12 eggs at a time, and she can lay up about 50 eggs each day too. And um and she she is a good meat breed also because have she can have like a good quality of meat and eggs because you can eat the eggs all the time, and they're good for you and they're not bad for you. And and she's all fluffy and properly washed and properly cared for, and her feet are are really clean, and they don't get that bad, and you can tell by the look of her that she's in good condition because I care for her all the time, and she doesn't dip in bad condition because I I don't clip her feathers, and I don't clip any of her feathers because it's a disqualification for show. And now that you saw her, her, her now, I will pull out my other my other Old English Japanese Bantam. But first, I will show you how to put a chicken in a cage. First, you gotta put him in butt first, and then you gotta gently set him down like this. And then to get another one, you gotta reach over like that. Make sure they don't hurt themselves, and then you gotta put them out of the cage head first. And then you gotta close the cage and make sure it's sealed and tight so they don't get out or risk of escaping and getting hit by cars. And this is my Japanese Bantam Rooster. He's about 2 years old, and he has been around since he was a baby too. I raised him from an egg, and he's been there for all my life for me. And he's a good quality of meat, and he's very well docile and very very tamed, and he's very leash trained also, and he's very docile. And his feathers his feathers are long. Like I said, the long ones are primary and short ones are secondary. And he can have, like, with the hen, he can have like a lot of babies depending on how old the hen is and how old the rooster is. And he can be a really good caring, loving animal, especially when you care a lot for him. Like his feet, you always gotta make sure his feet are well and nurtured and cared for, or else he'll get at a bumblefoot, and he'll get swollen foot. And basically what that is when the foot swells up like a big ol' bubble, like an abscess. And if it gets that, it'll be really hard to get rid of. And if that happens, then you could risk losing your bird in the process. And now that you saw my Old English Bantam Rooster, Japanese Bantam Rooster, I will pull out my Barred Rock hen. And this is how you put them in a cage again. You go butt first, and then you gently put them in the cage. And then now I will get my barred rock hen. Like I said, you close the gate on the cage so they don't get away or fly away. And this is my year old barred rock hen. She can have about 30 babies at least per year, and like I said, she's really docile. She's really good to be around. She's leash trained, but she's afraid of animals like dogs and stuff sometimes, and she can be a little bit sassy at times. And she's really a really good layer for brown eggs and a really good egg quality, and she can have blue and green eggs and brown. That's what I've discovered. And her feathers, you always gotta make sure her feathers aren't clipped, and you gotta make sure that her feathers aren't like deformed or anything, or her beak or her combs deformed or anything. You always gotta keep on top of that. And her feet, you always gotta make sure her feet aren't that bad, and you gotta make sure that they're not deformed, because if they're deformed, that could cause problems in the future for them, and basically all the time. And you gotta make sure that their bottom's clean all the time. You gotta make sure their bottom's clean. You gotta make sure their butt's clean. And wash it. And you gotta make sure under the wings are clean. Under the wings, you gotta make sure their face is clean, and make sure their feet are clean. And you gotta make sure their earlobes are clean, and their wattles, and their beak, and their combs. And you gotta make sure that you always clean them, because if not, they'll get sick, and they'll start gathering bacteria and all that stuff, and get sick and die from it. And now that you guys saw my barred rock hen, I will pull out my yellow Japanese bantam. You gotta put them butt first, so they won't hurt themselves or kill themselves or strangle themselves in the cage. Okay, this is my 3-year-old Old English Japanese bantam, and she can lay about like 40 eggs or more, depending on the breed of chicken that you have. And she's a good layer and a good meat quality, and she can have a very good egg quality, and she lays eggs like the size of a rock or smaller, and she has really good eggs, and her babies are about like 2 pounds when they're first born, and she can weigh about 4 pounds, and the boys can weigh about 5 pounds. And she has like I said, she has like the same little bit of black feathers in her primary and secondary, and she's the same color. And then her vent's really clean. You can tell by the cleanness of it. And her side, I make sure she's clean, and I wash them periodically every day when I have a chance to. And I basically care for my animals. I make sure their feet are washed, polished, and I make sure their beak and their wattles are polished too. And I take care of them, and like I said, you always want to take care of them, because if you don't, they could get really sick, and they can get a bunch of disease, and they can die from it. and they can get very sick and have like all kinds of things wrong with them, and they can like if you put them in the cage wrong, or if you take them out of the cage wrong, they could die too from all the stress and stuff, and the all the amount of stress gives them anxiety, and it has problems with them. But anyway, so on to my last barred rock hen. Always take them out head first, never butt first, because they'll hit their heads on the cage and break their neck. So this is my year-old barred rock, same as the last one, and she has good laying qualities, and she can be breeded with every type of chicken. Doesn't matter if they're mixed or not, and she can have about like 150 to 200 eggs, and like I said, she can have like more than 2 babies. She can have 6 or 7 or more, and you can tell by her feet that they're real well cared for and well nurtured. That I always take care of her feet, and you can tell that her feathers are in good shape because I always flip them up and everything before I always put them back in the chicken coops, and I always wash them every day. And you can tell by the little bit of white that she has good like purpose in her feathers, and she has good qualities in her feathers, and she has good growth in her feathers. And she doesn't get that bad because like I said, I put like different like shampoos. I use baby shampoo to keep her feathers right and straight and clean. And then for the vent, I use same thing. And like I said, I use the same thing, same products, same everything for her breed, and like I said, she is a very docile animal, and you can buy them, and they'll be docile forever, and they won't hurt you unless you provoke them. Then that's when they'll hurt you, and if you do, then that won't be good. But anyway, this was my last hen. My last hen for confirmation. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you.